Welcome once again to the Magic Kings podcast with the great, big, beautiful dads. Mike, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you, Steve?
I'm great. We are riding the momentum from the last episode where we talked about the updates, and at the end, we were like riding the wave. We were surfing. We were like Lilo and Stitch, like surfing that wave to new ideas and the changes that are coming. Okay, what could be next? And I'm excited to just dive in because this was your idea, Mike, to do an episode of why don't we get our Imagineering hats on?
Yes.
And get our best ideas out there for what could be next for Disney World.
I want to put this out there. This is my official resume submission to become a Walt Disney World Imagineer. Please. Bob, I know you're listening.
Bob, we assume Bob listens. So Bob, turn it up because here comes Mike. And I'll preface this by saying I am very confident, Mike, that your ideas are going to be much better than mine.
I don't know. We'll see. I think what we should do is we should talk about how this came about, because we really got into it after our last episode about adding something to Animal Kingdom. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I think this will be good to kind of go back and forth and then just spitball on some like what would be, we'll give our pitches for new ideas, and then I think we could spitball on what will be kind of cool to see. We'll go back and forth. I think you and I together, we make a pretty good creative team, so I think we can come up with some pretty good ideas. We can flush them out a little bit on the pod.
I agree with you that we put our two heads together, we'll come up with some good stuff.
Yes.
But do you want to kick it off with where we left off last time, Mike?
Yeah. So last time we were talking about all the new updates coming to Animal Kingdom, and as you know, Dino Land is no longer. That is now Tropical Americas, or will be Tropical Americas.
Yes.
And I believe that's heavily Encanto themed for some of the things, and a few other updates coming to that area of the park. But we were kind of thinking, what else could you do at Animal Kingdom? And one thing that came to mind that I think would be really cool is having an Australia section of the park. I was trying to think how you could bring in some Disney IP to the Australia, and I don't know if there's any Australia Disney movies. I think if you wanted to get real creative with the crew over at Disney is work on a new animated film that's set down under.
Yeah.
Right? And then you theme that out in the land. But I think just having that as part of Animal Kingdom makes sense because there's so much wildlife and cool things in Australia. And to me, the theme and the feeling of Animal Kingdom is like really showcasing what different parts of the world have to offer in terms of wildlife and cultures. And I think that's one area that's underrepresented in Animal Kingdom.
I totally agree. And I think you're right. The only Disney IP, so the only movie I could think of that takes place in Australia was Finding Nemo.
Oh,
if you remember.
And there is the Finding Nemo live show.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yes.
What's this? Oh man, I'm gonna blow it. But it's the number something Wallaby. What is it? Wallaby Lane or Wallaby Way? What's the address that they're trying?
My God.
Oh. Oh man.
You're good. I never would have
come prepared. Yeah. It's the only thing that Dorothy remembers is the address where Nemo is from the goggles. So yeah. Oh man, can't believe I didn't think of that. Yeah, that could be a good way to segue into it. And then they gotta do some type of stuff. Bring in some kangaroos. Do a little. You could do a collaboration with Outback Steakhouse. Get some blooming onions and shrimp on the bobby, mate.
I love it. Oh,
make it happen.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Well, and the only other Disney IP, and I mentioned it last time, half joking or maybe more than half, was Bluey, right? It is. Yep. It is Disney IP. I mean, I think at least maybe a Bluey meet and greet, could be nice.
Yeah.
Bluey is
the kids would go nuts for that.
They would. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how big that is to carry something more than that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
could maybe see something like the Disney Junior Dance Party in Hollywood Studios, like a Bluey
Hmm.
experience, maybe kind of like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think that, as you were kind of saying in the beginning, I don't know that everything has to be Disney IP. I think that's definitely the direction they've gone
Yeah.
in the
Right.
last 10,
Right.
15 years for sure. But like Kilimanjaro Safaris isn't Disney IP. Kali River Rapids,
Totally. Yeah.
Expedition Everest. And the wildlife is just so unique. You could have an outback trek, right?
Right.
Like the Gorilla Falls, right? You
That's
could
right.
have the Australian animals. So I think there's that Finding Nemo. Like obviously there's the show. There's the little Finding Nemo ride in Epcot.
Hmm.
Could there be something a little more exciting? That could be a ride or something to fill out
Right. Yeah.
that Australia area.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know. So I think it makes, when you said it last time, I was like blown away. I was like, yes, they have to do this. And it is different. Like there's the desert aspect of like the outback in Australia. There's obviously very unique animals. And so I think there's definitely an opportunity there. Yeah. And Animal Kingdom, I think, just needs one more land. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
The only other thing that maybe I'll save this one. I'll back pocket this one for another update for later because I think it'll be good to kind of go back and forth with some ideas. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think we go to next?
Well, I have an idea that is somewhat related to the outback, to Australia land. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
It's for a new resort at Disney
Ooh.
World.
Okay.
So, other than the value resorts, you probably already know this, but like almost every resort at Disney World is based on a vacation destination in the real world. You think about all the different ones they have, like Saratoga Springs is like Saratoga, New York. The Riviera, you could go on and on. They actually,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's one that isn't. I think maybe the Contemporary, I guess, maybe isn't. But other than that, and the values, they're all
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So my idea was to have a resort based on Bali.
Ooh.
You know anything about Bali? I've never been there, but
I have not been there either. Yeah, but it is a big popular destination.
yes. So a couple things about Bali. It's in Indonesia. Okay. It is a extremely unique place on this planet. It has beautiful beaches. That's where kind of people go there. They think of the beaches. It has a lot of volcanoes, kind of like and it's near the Polynesian geographically, kind of. I mean, thousands of miles away, but closer than here.
Yeah.
And it's but it has like these rice terraces. That's like the land is kind of like plateaued like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It also has very unique like architecture. It has like Hindu temples that are very unique in that part of the world.
Okay.
So I think the Bali resort would be really cool. And then here's what you do. If you look at a map at where Bali is, you can take a short flight from Bali to Australia.
Ooh.
And what I was thinking is, why don't we make a short flight on a new branch of the Skyliner from Bali to the Animal Kingdom?
I like that.
So my idea is to have a new Skyliner that's not connected to the other one because it's too far away. I mean, you could. But the hub is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. On one side, you have the All-Star Resorts.
Yep.
They have one Skyliner station. The other side is the new Bali Resort. That comes in to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and that Skyliner goes into Animal Kingdom, and it goes into the new Australia land.
Almost like an international gateway type of entrance,
Exactly.
like you have on the Epcot. I love it.
Exactly. It takes so much heat off the buses for All Stars. And again, it's just to one park. It's just to Animal Kingdom. But Animal Kingdom only has buses now. I think if you took the All-Star buses out of circulation to Animal Kingdom, that would really help. And it gives the Animal Kingdom Lodge, a little more cachet as a deluxe that is like right next to a park. That you can just, go right over there. So we're slapping a Skyliner to the Animal Kingdom.
I think you also got to consider looping in Coronado Springs as well, which is right over there.
Yes.
It's huge. It is.
Yes.
It's massive. The first time we stayed there, I did not realize it. And there's a conference center there and everything. So I
Yeah.
think they have, outside events that they host at that conference center. But awesome pool. I don't know if you've heard anything about the pool that's there. Really cool pool.
Yeah. No, that's right, because that is right there too. It's kind of on the other side, and so
Yep.
that could connect. Yeah,
Yeah.
like through the All Stars. Yeah.
And again, that's one that's all buses, right? There's no
Yes.
other transportation option. So I like this idea a lot. I think. All right, so Steve, you undersold your
This was
Imagineering. You came in
Listen.
in saying, my ideas aren't, and then you hit me with a home run right off the bat. Come on.
I might have revealed my by far best idea right up front. It's gonna be all downhill from here, so you're gonna have to carry it from here, Mike.
Okay, all right. Well,
So I'm gonna throw it to you.
yeah. While we're still on Animal Kingdom, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but we were talking about the area in Animal Kingdom that used to have the jet ski kite, the big water feature with the stage around and everything.
Kite tails, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Here's my proposal to utilize some of that real estate. We're talking about Animal Kingdom. We're talking about, unique animals across the world. I'm thinking utilize that water space. You build almost like a Tom Sawyer's Island type of island feature, but it's Galapagos Islands.
Oh.
And you have unique animals that are only found in the Galapagos Islands, like the turtles, like the iguanas, like the Darwin birds that came out of the Galapagos Islands, and you only can get there by boat. I think that's a winner, and it utilizes some of that big, wide open water space,
I just got goosebumps. That's such a good idea. The Galapagos. And, Galapagos is in Ecuador.
Yeah.
And what's going to be right there but the tropical Americas?
And it doesn't even need to be that big, right? Because it's not meant, it's not, like, if you think of, like, the Moana Way of the Water feature in Epcot, it's, like, not a huge thing, but it's a good little draw to bring people in and see something unique, right? You can see the unique animals of the Galapagos Islands. I think that would be something that would draw a lot of traffic to that area.
That is a home run. And have you ever actually gone to the Rafiki's Planet Watch?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. And it's good. It's especially good for the smaller kids. I think this would be a much better version of the Rafiki's Planet Watch. Like, it's easier to get to. You just take one of those Tom Sawyer rafts out to there. It's a smaller thing. It's more like exploring versus the kind of petting zoo deal up there.
That's right.
I think this would add so much, and that area is perfect for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Bob, turn it up here.
Yeah,
are you listening, Bob?
You're gonna have to pull another home run out of your pocket, because I've got some bangers here. Keep them coming. You go next.
This reminds me. This is gonna be like the superlatives episode we did a while ago, where I said the dumbest. And you had good answers, and I was like, the refillable mug is So this is what we're going. This is what we're going with. Okay, I guess here's what I'll say next. So we talked last time as well, and I brought this up. I've thought this for a while about the World Showcase. How
Yep.
Remy's and Frozen Ever After, both great rides, both super long lines all day, especially Remy's, because there's just not enough in the World Showcase. They don't need to fill it. It doesn't need to be the Magic Kingdom back there. They don't need a roller coaster. They just need a little bit more. They need another ride. And my idea for a ride is between France and Norway, that whole, section of the World Showcase, was really most of it. There's no ride. Stick one in Italy. And we talked about, Italy has nothing. It's got the restaurants, which every country has in the World Showcase. It has the cool architecture, but in terms of attractions and reasons to spend time there, it has maybe the least of any. It's like Morocco too, kind of is like that, but Italy is ripe for something. And I think the Disney IP that happens in Italy, it's pretty outdated, but it's Pinocchio. Mike, when's the last time you watched Pinocchio, the original Pinocchio?
It's been a while,
Yeah.
and I am gonna raise you one on this
Oh,
Italy thing because I have another idea, but it's not as popular a IP as Pinocchio. So I want to hear the rest of your Pinocchio idea because I think you and I were thinking along the same lines of maybe add one more attraction to the World Showcase to spread out the traffic a little bit, draw people around the World Showcase. So hit me with the rest of your Pinocchio idea because I do like the idea of having something in the Italy pavilion.
yeah. I mean, and I wonder, I had a somewhat of an idea for something else for Italy too, but I wonder if we're aligned on that one. But I think it just a ride that just stops people between the two rides in World Showcase. Nothing fancy. In Disneyland, they have just like one of the almost like a Winnie the Pooh kind of ride about Pinocchio. I love those kind of rides, but you could update it with like a sort of better animatronics and things like that, just taking you through the story of Pinocchio. Pinocchio does have like a lot of history in Italy, and you could have a history of Pinocchio in Italy, like a little gallery or something after the ride or something. But it's just something that I think connects Disney to Italy very authentically. And I actually think Pinocchio is like one of the best Disney movies. I watched it for the first time since I was a little child, like,
Oh yeah,
as an adult.
yep,
That movie is unbelievable. It's like, it's a crazy movie. It just goes. Yeah. It's like edge of your seat movie. It's awesome. Yeah. So that's but I want to hear your idea for the World Showcase.
Yeah, so I had a feeling you were, because you had mentioned the Pinocchio idea. I like that a lot. And then I was thinking about Italy a little bit. I mean, there's not really another. I mean, maybe you could do something in China, maybe like a Mulan ride or something in China, but I don't know how you'd. There's a lot there already with like the shows that they have, and I think in Italy, the only other thing, and I was just trying to think of like cool ride ideas. Have you seen the movie Luca?
I thought you were gonna say this. I actually haven't. Oddly enough, I haven't seen Luca. Yeah,
Luca's actually pretty good. My kids liked it a lot, and the basically Luca is I don't know, like a sea monster, like mermaid type of thing. And when they're kids, if they come out of the water and dry off, then they look human. So him and his sea monster friend kind of run away to the land and dry off. And Luca is obsessed with Vespas. And nice. They make friends with a human girl whose father is actually a fisherman. So it's kind of funny because they like go on the fishing boat and they can't get wet because they'll show that they're sea monsters. It's good. You would like it. I think Fran would enjoy it.
That's
but
awesome.
The premise is that Luca really, really wants a Vespa. And he teams up with this girl who's a human who rides every year in a bicycle race down the mountain, like down the mountainside in the town and the winner wins the prize money. And so Luca decides that he's going to join in on the race and try to win money to buy a Vespa. And I was thinking that would be a really cool use of almost like a Tron ride vehicle, but maybe like a little less intense so that you can get some kids on it, and then have it like a bicycle type of ride where you strap in like you're in like a Tron ride, and then you have like a bicycle race down the side of an Italian village on the mountain. I thought that would be a really cool concept. That was the only other thing I could think of for Italy, but I do think you need something else in World Showcase.
I'm going with your idea for Italy. That sounds fantastic. And it gets to the World Showcase idea of like you can see the countryside of Italy, right? You see more about the country. I love that idea.
That was one of my back pocket ideas, so I'll give you credit for that one because you brought up the enhancement to Italy, and I think you deserve the credit for that one.
I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need the
credit. Where do we go next? Okay, I've got a couple more.
Let's do it.
All right, so this one's for the millennials with a little bit of nostalgia. Maybe you've got kids, maybe you don't got kids, and you're becoming a Disney adult, or you just like to go with your friends. Steve, do you remember the Great Movie Ride?
Absolutely.
Okay. We are going to bring back the Great Movie Ride, but it's going to be the Great Disney Channel Original Movie Ride.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to utilize the trackless tech, and it's going to take you through scenes of some of the most memorable Disney Channel original movies. Were you a Disney Channel original movie fan, Steve?
I mean, Halloween Town,
Halloween Town,
Xenon,
Xenon.
Luck of
Yep.
the Irish,
Oh my
Smart
gosh.
House.
You're stealing my list here. So the ride takes you through the scenes. You go from Brink, at
Yes.
the skate ride down the race down the side of the city. You got you do a spacewalk with Xenon,
Oh.
Halloween Town, High School Musical. You get Escape from the AI Smart House. Surfing with Johnny Tsunami down to the snowboard up to the snow mountains. You could have a section. Do you remember The Other Me, where he clones himself?
Oh,
you
yeah.
Remember that movie? You get some of the AI tech. With you do some smoke and mirrors. You get the AI tech, and you clone the ride vehicle so that you guys you see yourself as another ride vehicle. I've got some great ideas. So the Great Disney Channel original movie ride. That's my next.
And where does that go?
So, and this is kind of something that like disappeared. Do you remember the Wonders of Life Pavilion where there was Body Wars? And now you can still see the big golden dome next to Guardians of the Galaxy, in between Guardians and Mission Space.
Yes.
There was supposed to be something going in there, but I think it got dropped. I mean, I think you utilized that space, or you add to Hollywood Studios, because I think theming wise that probably fits better with the Hollywood Studios atmosphere, and maybe you tuck it in where they're doing the where they're replacing the Star Wars launch bay with some other things. There's a lot of space there that could really fill out Hollywood Studios, and then you get another ride in Hollywood Studios.
Yes, I love it. I'm in on that. That's awesome. You get all those people back. They're all probably like 45 by now, but it's like,
it's all people our age. And, if you've got kids, you can be like, oh, guys, let's watch this movie.
Yes.
There's a new, you can introduce your kids to the Disney Channel originals. They are all on Disney Plus, by the way. I don't know if you know this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a party idea, like a movie marathon.
Totally.
Right? Of like,
all the best Disney Channel originals.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea. I love that so much. And it's funny. So you mentioned two things, or a few things. Bringing back the Great Movie Ride. I have an idea that's related to that.
Okay.
And I have an idea about utilizing that space that was the Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Yeah.
They said it was going to be this thing called the Play Pavilion at one time. Yep. And then that was officially scrapped, I think. So it's unclear what the deal with that's going to be, but yeah, let me come in with my Great Movie Ride replacement idea.
Okay. Yep.
So
let's hear it.
My idea for the location is actually between Toy Story Land and like Sunset Boulevard, like behind.
Yep.
And it's where the Great Movie Ride used to be, Mickey and Minnie's. It's kind of behind there, because that would be a nice path just to do that.
Yep.
So my idea is like the Great Movie Ride. It's a ride-through ride, high capacity. Again, something that Hollywood Studios needs to just take some heat off other rides. Right. Something the Great Movie Ride was great at. A zillion people were on there for like 20 minutes at a time.
Yep.
And it was great. So my idea would be you're bridging Pixar, which is Toy Story Land.
Yep.
With that new animation area, what is now the animation courtyard, and will be that newly, with the launch bay,
yes.
newly,
Yep.
And then over to Sunset Boulevard. You have the Great Movie Ride celebrating all of the Pixar movies. So instead of the Great Movie Ride where it's like Singing in the Rain and whatever,
right?
It's all the Pixar movies, and you're riding through A Bug's Life and Inside Out and WALL-E and all those movies.
That's great.
Yeah, and it kind of creates that path where now Hollywood Studios just it has the worst flow of all the four parks. It's just a little disjointed. I think that would just help. So that's my idea.
I was thinking about that too. It does not necessarily, it kind of does, but when they added Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge, it doesn't really have that hub and spoke type of feel like Magic Kingdom has in Animal Kingdom and even Epcot to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Hollywood's is kind of like sideways, and Galaxy's Edge kind of tucks in toward the left around by Toy Story Land, but there's really nothing like you said over by that corner, and I think you need to fill it out to just bring traffic out to those other areas.
So I think that's good. So take your pick on that, or do both. Do both of those great movie ride replacements.
What if it's a choose your own adventure great movie ride? Right? It's kind of like Mission Space, where you got the green option, you got the orange option. You could go Disney Channel original, or you could go Pixar.
Bob,
It's just like they should be.
This is.
You can mail Bob. You can mail the check to.
Who's coming up with ideas like this on the spot? That's unbelievable. What a great idea. Yes. That's fantastic. Yes. All right. I'm in on that. Book that, Disney.
Let's
That's
go.
going in.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
I'll throw to you. What's your next one?
Okay. My next is an idea for Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
So take a little trip with me, Steve, to Agrabah, where we find ourselves on a mission to liberate the magic lamp from the Cave of Wonders.
My God.
And we have to race against the clock to escape the cave with the lamp. We get trapped in. Obviously, you know the rest of the story.
Yes.
Genie comes out of the lamp, helps us escape from the cave, and you end your ride at the celebration entrance of Prince Ali to Agrabah. So the way I was thinking of this is, you know, they're going hard on the trackless tech. I think you go trackless, and for the beginning, you're almost on the magic carpets, and then as you get into sort of the end of the ride, it lifts you up onto what feels like the giant elephant walking through the city streets as the music goes for Prince Ali. You bring back Robin Williams' Genie. You just bring in the original soundtrack because it's so incredible. You gotta incorporate that, and I think you got a real home run there.
I couldn't agree more.
I was trying to figure out where you could fit it in, and the only thing I was thinking is there's maybe it can tuck in somewhere behind like Tiki Room or over in that area. You can't really like sneak it in. Maybe you could sneak it in next to Pirates and between Tiana's. Maybe there's some room over there, but I think in that area it would really fit in real well because you do have the magic carpet, Aladdin's magic carpet ride over there. You've got the camel that spits water at you as you walk by. So I think you could kind of keep the flow in that area.
I think I love that idea, and I think Aladdin, just having the magic carpets there doesn't do it justice. I think Aladdin is one of those like total classics that's underutilized in the parks. I think what you could do, I'd have to really look at it, but not to say I want to get rid of the magic carpets of Aladdin, but you could kind of get rid of that and then use the space. Do you know like where Aladdin and Jasmine do their meet and greet? It's actually right next to there.
Yes.
And it's a little spot. And what you could do is just repurpose that whole space and have like a ride building there. Because the magic carpets of Aladdin, I mean, I remember when it wasn't there, it does kind of interrupt the flow of Adventureland a little bit. It's good to have a ride. I'm never going to say don't have a ride because I think that's always good to just absorb people and it's fun for kids, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think to have a little better flow in Adventureland, you could put that ride kind of back there and use all of that space a little better. So that's where I'm putting it.
The only other thing, and I think, you could potentially, take advantage of the Morocco Pavilion in Epcot, but I think, I don't think it necessarily, I don't think you want to overcrowd World Showcase. I think maybe one more ride, and I think Italy is really the place to do it. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only really place that you could kind of fit the theming. But, I feel like Adventureland's a good spot for it.
Yeah. No, I love it. We need that Aladdin ride. I think it's long overdue for more Aladdin stuff. I'm in on that. All right. I had another idea because you mentioned the Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So I had an idea for that space. Do you remember Cranium Command?
Yeah, was that the show with was it Martin Short? There was a show with somebody.
Was it Martin Short? It could have been. You were basically inside of a kid's head. Yes. It was like this show where it was a really cool show, and it was kind of teaching about, it was like you had the brain was kind of the host of it or was kind of leading it, but then had the other organs like, oh, adrenaline's going and stuff like that. What I think you could do is have, I think, more of a show in that style around Inside Out.
Yeah.
Because I think Cranium Command was in some ways a precursor to Inside Out.
Yeah.
Those characters are so awesome. And my vision for it is, it's less of the Cranium Command where you were kind of sitting in a theater. It really was like a film. This would be more like the Universe of Energy ride that used to be where Cosmic Rewind is, where it's a theater, but you can move around, like the seats move around.
Right.
And you're going to different scenes and you see the inside of the brain and stuff like that. I think Inside Out is definitely something that's underutilized. It's such a huge, awesome. I love Inside Out.
Yeah.
It's one of the best, I think, Disney, Pixar, whatever movies. And so I think that actually fits in the way the Wonders of Life did. I think that really does fit in that in that area. So that was my idea for the Wonders of Life Pavilion area.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great way to utilize that and continue the legacy of what used to be there, right? It was like with Body Wars and Cranium Command, it was like, the human body and brain and all that stuff. So I think that totally makes sense. I like that idea a lot.
They got to do something with there. Just do anything. I think that would be great. But Epcot's doing great. But I always want more. But
yeah. We're getting greedy here. But that's the whole point of this episode.
This
right?
episode is all about getting greedy. Yeah.
Yep. We're spending Bob's money. Bob,
exactly.
Come on,
Listen,
pony up. Let's go.
They got. I've had enough. I've got enough lightning lanes. They can afford it.
That's right. Okay. I've got one more. This one, I took some inspiration from my kids. And then I don't have any other ones. I definitely do want to have a little bit of a dreaming session here on, I'm going to hit you with this. What if there was a fifth park?
Oh.
So let's talk about that in a little bit. But first, my kids love Galaxy's Edge. They love the Star Wars theming and rides, and I personally do as well. And I think they like it because I kind of foisted it upon them. My love of Star Wars. I would love to see another ride in Galaxy's Edge, and I was trying to think of like what you could do, and I had two kind of thoughts. My first thought was like, hey, you've got Rise of the Resistance and you've got Smuggler's Run. What about something from the perspective of the First Order or the Empire? I thought that might be a little bit dark.
Interesting.
I don't know how you could do that. Maybe you do some like TIE Fighter rides or something. But I don't think you want to have a ride like celebrating like destroying entire planets. I think that's probably a little too a little too difficult to pass. So then I was thinking, and I know you're not as much of a Star Wars guy as I am, but I really loved the Clone Wars Star Wars series, the animated series.
Yeah.
And then I love the new Ahsoka series, Rebels, Bad Batch. There's a bunch of like animated and then now live action series around that time period in Star Wars canon. I would love to see almost like a Clone Wars or an Ahsoka ride. I think that would be a home run. It doesn't fit like the quote unquote time period of Galaxy's Edge, but I think you could get away with it, right? I would love to see something around that. I think that would be a really cool concept. I don't know how you would pull it off, but it's an unexplored part of Star Wars lore that has like a ton of storytelling that you could go with it, right? That's unexplored in the sense that there's the animated series, but the movies kind of like skipped over it without getting into too much detail on what was going on. But the animated series has a lot more detail and brings a lot of the characters to life with Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like there's a lot of classic characters that you would recognize, but in their younger years when they're actually like fighting a war against the droids. So instead of like being the Empire and blowing up planets, you could be the clone troopers trying to destroy the droid army, right? It's a little less homicidal, I would say.
No,
but I think it would be good. I think it would be good to have one more ride in that area to kind of fill it out.
I agree. Yeah, no, I love that idea. I think there's ways you could do it through like, the storytelling of this era, and I agree that like there is something so cool about Galaxy's Edge, that there is the First Order is in charge, you know, that you are in that like tense environment.
Right.
And I think
right.
a ride that, you know, toes that line or just has that other side of it, or like, which side am I on?
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that would be really cool and in Galaxy's Edge. And I agree. I do think, I mean, it's hard to say Galaxy's Edge needs anything. I think one more ride would just make it like over the top. Like it would just, you know. So no, I love that idea. Yeah, Galaxy's Edge, another ride. I got none that are as good as that. I mean, I got a couple of dumb ones.
Should we do a little dreaming session here on what a Park 5 could look like? Because I think there's rumors that maybe they have some Park 5 licensing with Florida. Did I hear that correctly, or is that all speculation?
They have the permits to pursue building a fifth park, and they have a certain amount of time to do it, a number of years in which to do it, and it doesn't mean that they will. You know, they certainly haven't said anything that they're going to. I think it's very likely that a new park will be coming in the next 15 years, you know, on that kind of time horizon.
Yep.
I think they also have permission to do like smaller parks, like on the order of like the water parks, you know, whether it be another water park or whatever. You know, I think they can do a couple more of those as well. But that fifth theme park, I think, is coming sometime. So I would love to think about what that could look like.
It's so hard to come up with something that could carry an entire park, right? The only thing that, I mean, and you kind of already stole this idea with your Pixar movie ride, but like, and Toy Story Land is already there, but like having a Pixar park almost, I feel like that could be something that could carry a park where you've got a ton of different options to pull Pixar movies in, but there is so much already in Toy Story Land, so you'd almost have to omit Toy Story, which is probably like the biggest Pixar IP, right? I don't know, but that was one I was thinking. I mean, I don't know. Would you have any other ideas where that could carry a whole park?
So I do love that idea of Pixar, and I think an idea around like just animation in general.
Yeah.
The problem is you have Hollywood studios.
Right.
Animation's part of that. It's part of the movies. It almost seems like for Disney like too small of an idea, but I think they could do so much with that. But I don't see that happening as a fifth park. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw these two themes at you.
Okay.
And then I'm going to watch your genius brain work and take them and make something out of them.
Okay. All right,
so there's two themes that I came up with. Because you think of the themes of these parks. It's like Epcot is like the future and the present of the world, like understanding humanity. Well, for crying out loud, could there be a bigger, you know, Hollywood Studios is movies,
right?
Which is everything for Disney, right?
Yeah.
And the Magic Kingdom is its whole other thing, like fantasy and tomorrow and, you know, Animal Kingdom, nature and stuff like that. So these themes are big. Okay, it's totally. Almost hard to think of something that's that big.
Right.
The first one I thought of is history.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it happen in front of my eyes.
Okay, go. Give me the rest of your thoughts.
Well, all I can think of is like, okay, you could have, and I'm banking on you doing better than me than what I'm about to say. You could have different lands that are different eras of world history.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the ancient world where there's, you know, Rome and Greece and ancient China and you know, whatever.
Egypt. You got to throw Egypt in there. Ancient
Egypt, of course.
Yep.
You can have the Renaissance, right? And you have like Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom, so you don't need, you know, that. You don't need any, you know, American history necessarily. You have like the sort of pop century, like history is kind of a theme.
Yeah. You undersold this idea. I like this a lot. I'm a history buff, so I really do. I like this. Yeah.
Now the issues with it are like, I mean, you can pull in Disney IP, you know, with these things in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is a lot of the history stuff is a little squishy.
Right.
It's like, oh, when does when does Sleeping Beauty take place? Is that the
Totally.
Renaissance? Okay, are we gonna put that next to Leonardo da Vinci? That seems a
Right.
little, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to pull off. So that's
Yep.
where my idea. It's not fully baked. It's not fully come together. But that was my first idea.
I like that. It's almost like it's got me thinking. Did you ever watch this Westworld? Did you ever watch that series
I
on
never
HBO?
did. I'm aware of it, but yeah,
It's very dark, but it is like that where there's like different historical periods. I think that's. Oh, I'm trying to think like how could you tie it in, but I like that idea a lot. I think the ancient worlds, you could do something around like the ancient wonders of the world, right? You have the pyramids, you have the Great Wall of China, you've got you could pull in a ride Mulan into the Great Wall of China. You could do something with pyramids. You could do something with like the Colosseum. Oh man, there's so many different things you could pull in there. I like that a lot. I think that's a good like because you're right. The theming is so huge in perspective, and then it's like okay, then how do you fit all these things into it? So I think that is like one that would be right in that vein of okay, let's come up with a broad theme and then come up with some cool ideas that fit that. I like that one a lot. That's really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and they actually I'd have to remind myself of what this was, but Disney was going to build a park in like Virginia that was supposed to be like an American history like park.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen, but that kind of made me think, yeah, you could make history like one of these parks. So
yeah,
that was my first one. I think of my two ideas, that was the stronger one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Did anyone come to you, or you want me to give me my second one?
Hit me with your second one. I'm marinating on some ideas right now, but I want to hear what else you got.
This one is not as big as history. It's the only other thing I can think of. Sports and recreation.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
They've got the ESPN area, and ESPN is Disney property, right? Like sports would be something that you would get a lot of draw. It would bring in maybe an older crowd, maybe a different type of crowd that's not the typical Disney crowd. But I think you hit the nail on the head with sports. That's the direction I was going for. Something that could carry a park is have all these different sports, have interactive, have you could bring in actual sports legends to do collaborations with around different sports, right? Like there's just so many things that like different sports around the World Cup you could talk about, just random things that maybe not all American sports, but you could do like cricket, you could do like just have all sorts of different exposure to sports. I think that's a great direction because it is such a mass appeal to people that are not necessarily in the like Disney demo. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I think it does bring in a different crowd, and it's for people who are interested in that. It's a little less expansive than the other ones, but yeah, I wasn't even thinking like they have ESPN. Like you could draw on all of their ESPN talent, including former athletes, coaches,
Absolutely.
things like that, for different experiences. Could be part of that park, and I could imagine interactive like attractions around. I think how you said it was perfect. Like sports, like cricket. We don't think of cricket in the U.S., but it's a huge sport around the world, and the Olympics and the World Cup and things like that. Experiences around those, and you could come up with rides, shows, etc. around that. So,
definitely.
Yeah, I think the appeal is definitely more niche, but I think they could figure something out.
If they really wanted to blow it out of the water, have you ever seen that indoor ski mountain I think it's in Dubai or in United Arab Emirates? That would be something that would be really cool. Like to pull that off in Florida would be pretty sweet. Yeah.
Ski, like a ski. Oh, that right there is genius. Like the indoor skiing or like the snow stuff in like a Winter Olympics pavilion in Orlando. That would be an awesome park.
You get people on a luge ride or like a bobsled ride, and you have it be cold. So like you go in the area, you get jackets for everybody. Like as you're coming in, rental jackets or whatever it is. So you get a nice puffy jacket, and then you can experience the snow in the middle of Central Florida. Can you imagine?
That's incredible.
I think we just nailed Part 5. I think that's what it is.
I think we
sports, snow, winter wonderland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So Bob, what more can we tell you, Bob?
I don't know. Yeah. We definitely have more ideas. We're waiting for the call from Bob.
That's right. Yeah, we're holding back here, Bob.
Yeah, we're holding it back. Those definitely weren't our best ideas. That was
no, absolutely.
We've got a million more that would really make this. Yeah.
We can't just give it all away. I mean, come on.
And Bob, if you call us, I will call right away. I will call my travel agent, Steve, at Just Add Magic Travel. He's gonna book me a Disney hotel. I'll be there on the double. We'll walk around. We'll map it out. We'll talk to you about where things should go. So if you guys want to be part of the Imagineering journey, call Steve. Right. He'll set you up.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, you couldn't have said it better myself, Mike. Yes. No, this was exciting. I think, and listeners, please send us your ideas, because I think there are so many things that we could do that obviously the two of us only can think of so much. I would love to be able to read on here other people's ideas. I saw somebody, I forget what it was, but on social media, I should have actually said this earlier. Someone said in a comment to one of my posts about a villain's hotel. How cool would that be? And I couldn't agree more. I would love that, a villain's hotel.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. I could see a value resort, right, where different villains, and it's a little, a little darker and scarier and stuff like that. So ideas like that, any ideas you have, we would love to, because if you're a Disney fan like us, and if you're listening to this podcast, you almost certainly are, I'm sure you have ideas that could even blow ours out of the water. What could that fifth park be? What are we missing here? So yeah, get in touch. Steve at justaddmagictravel.com with ideas, and to book your next trip, to be able to, scope it out.
Yeah.
So Mike, you got any words to take us out of our Imagineering journey?
This was a lot of fun and I love speculating, and I love coming up with cool ideas. I would just repeat what you said. I'd love to hear from the listeners. If you guys have ideas or feedback, that would be something really cool that we could talk about. And then, get this trending so that we can get in front of the real Imagineers and make some of this stuff happen.
Who better than us? The great big beautiful dads.
I can't think of anybody. Somebody's got to fill Walt's big shoes, right?
That's right. We got some great big beautiful feet here.
We do.
So.